All right, let's talk about something that's way more than just a bad headache. We're diving deep into migraines, what they are, what's really going on inside your brain when one hits, and most importantly, what you can do about them. I mean, have you ever had one of those headaches that just stops you in your tracks? Not just an annoyance, but a full-on cancel all your plans, I need a dark, silent room right now kind of event. I think a lot of us have been there. But here's the thing. What if that wasn't just a bad headache? What if it's actually a sign of a really complex neurological condition? That's the big idea we're starting with, and it changes everything. So, to really get a handle on this, we first have to understand just how big of a deal migraines are. We've got to move past that old idea that it's just a headache. Okay, so here's the official word. A migraine is a brain disorder. And look at the words used here. Intense, throbbing pain, nausea, extreme sensitivity. See? This is a full body experience, not just something happening in your skull. And you might be wondering, how common is this? Well, a whopping 12% of the US population is affected. Think about that. That's more than 1 in every 10 people you know. This is not some rare thing. It's everywhere. And check this out. This is where the data gets really interesting. Migraines are 3 times more common in women than in men. That's a huge difference, and it really points to things like hormonal shifts being a major player in the game. And yep, genetics are a massive piece of this puzzle. An incredible 70% of people who get migraines have a family history. And it gets even more specific. If your parent gets something called a migraine with aura, which involves seeing things like zigzag lines before the pain hits, you are 4 times more likely to get them too. That genetic link is powerful. So we know who it affects, but what is actually going on up there? What's happening inside the brain during a migraine attack? Let's get into the science, because our understanding has totally changed. You know, for years, everyone thought migraines were a blood vessel problem, like the pipes in your brain were acting up. But modern science has completely flipped that on its head. It turns out it's not a plumbing problem, it's an electrical one. The whole thing kicks off with nerve cells in the brain misfiring. That creates this wave of activity that then makes the blood vessels react. And that discovery, right there, is the key to all modern treatments. Probably the best way to picture it is like a literal electrical storm inside your brain. Your brain's chemicals get all out of whack. It triggers this wave of nerve activity, which causes inflammation. And that inflammation is what creates that awful, intense pain and all the other symptoms. And this brainstorm doesn't just appear out of the blue. A migraine is actually a journey, and it often has 4 distinct phases. If you can learn to spot them, it can be a total game changer for managing the whole thing. Okay, let's walk through this timeline together. The first phase, the prodrome, can actually start a full day before the pain. You might just feel off. Weird mood changes, a stiff neck, strange food cravings. Then, for some people, comes the aura, those visual glitches we talked about. After that is the main event, the headache phase. But it's not over when the pain stops. Many people then go into the postdrome. It's like a migraine hangover that can leave you feeling totally wiped out for another day. So what sets this whole chain reaction off? Well, triggers are super personal. What affects you might not affect someone else at all. But they tend to fall into these 4 big buckets: things you eat, your lifestyle habits, hormonal changes, and even your environment. Figuring out your own pattern is step 1 to getting ahead of them. All right, we've talked about the what, the why, and the how. Now for the part you've probably been waiting for. What can you actually do about it? Let's start building your personal toolkit. So for that immediate I need help now moment, a lot of people start right here with over-the-counter meds. The number 1 takeaway from all the research is that timing is everything. You have to take them at the very first whisper of an attack. Now, this is just the first line of defense. If they don't work for you, a doctor has a lot more options. But of course, for any medication, you've got to talk to your doctor to figure out what's right for you. Okay, everybody, listen up, because this is incredibly important. Most migraine aren't dangerous, but some symptoms are massive red flags. If you ever get a headache that feels like a thunderclap, like the worst headache of your entire life that hits you all at once, or if you have any of these other symptoms, you call 911, no hesitation. Now, on a less urgent note, these are the signs that it's time to make a doctor's appointment. If you notice your headaches are changing, getting worse, or if they're just getting in the way of you living your life, it's time to get professional help. You don't have to just tough it out. Because ultimately, this isn't just about reacting to the pain. The real goal is to build a long-term plan so you can stop these attacks before they even start. It's about taking back control.
And it really comes down to these 4 pillars of prevention. And notice how simple they sound. But don't let that fool you. They are so powerful. The brain loves consistency, so regular sleep, regular meals. Then you've got to actively manage your stress. And this is the big one. You have to track your migraines and triggers. Be your own detective.
And I want to leave you with this quote, because it's really a message of hope. This is a manageable condition. It might take some work, and it might take some time, but with the right game plan, most people can seriously reduce the hold that migraines have on their life. So, I'll leave you with a little challenge. After everything we've talked about, what's just one thing, one potential trigger you can start paying closer attention to, starting today? Is it your sleep, your stress levels, that afternoon coffee? Because just starting to notice is the first huge step toward feeling better.